Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 22nd. It is 6:16 right now. Market's gonna open in about 14 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a few things here to update. And we should be good to go. It's good. Perfect. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And let's give it a few moments for people to make their way in. All right, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here on the daily chart. Liquidity right there, 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 there. There. Going up to the 8-hour chart. These lower levels are kind of irrelevant, but I'll just mark them up anyways. Up to the 4-hour chart. Two-hour chart. One-hour chart. Thirty-minute chart. 15-minute chart. Looks like we've been having some consolidation here after the all-time high was pushed yesterday and the day before that. Down to the 10-minute chart. You guys will see there's a lot of liquidity on both sides. So I mean, price can really go in either direction today. Looks like the volatility is a lot lower. There's no news today, so there's not much of a catalyst to really push price around, which is pretty much expected after the crazy week we had so far. So we've got liquidity marked up here. You guys can see there's a lot of levels on both sides. So price can really go in either direction. We'll have to see what happens here when market opens, but the closest level of liquidity is going to be above over here at 40,204. The next level is going to be right above it at 40,211. And the level down below is going to be at 40,151. So those are the two levels or three levels of liquidity that are closest to current price. We'll see what happens here when the market opens or if the market starts to move pre-market. And we'll come back to that. So you got that marked up right there. Let's see what's here so far. So good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, March 22nd. Happy Friday, everyone. 6:21 right now. I got in a little earlier today just to get everything situated and settled. But yeah, I'm ready to kick off the last trading day of this week. So we'll see what happens here. Again, just a reminder, we're doing our weekly mentoring session today. If we get our entries in early today, I'll probably log off of this live session like closer to like 7:30 because obviously Fridays are one of the riskier days to trade. And then from there we'll go into our mentoring session. and we'll knock out all the questions. Hopefully be all done by 8, and we'll wrap it up as soon as we can. So, all right, guys, let's see. Morning, William. Morning, Nick. Yeah, Nick said Dow's up 6 points pre-market, 82 short, no news, except for Powell. I think Powell he spoke already at 6 o'clock. Let me check the calendar real quick. So he spoke. Yeah, he spoke at 6 o'clock. So he's probably either still speaking or he's already done. I didn't see much movement here from 6 o'clock up until now, so not sure if it really had an effect or anything, but it's good to know. Other than that, there's no other news for today. So let's go over here to our clean chart. So clean chart right here, mark this up at 6:30. Mark this up at 8 o'clock. I'll go on the 4-hour real quick, see if there's any structure here that we should mark up. There's upper structure right here, which is at the all-time high. Lower structure right here. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Yeah, price has pretty much been consolidating right here at the all-time high. There's not really much to work with. Price, you can see here, is just consolidating pretty slowly. All right, going down to the 1 minute. So here we go. As you guys can see, above right here is the 4-hour resistance. Four-hour resistance level, which is also the all-time high. And then down here, we have the 1 hour support level. So price is pretty much ranging between the 1 hour support level and the 4-hour resistance level right now. We'll see what happens here when market opens. That's pretty much all that we've got here at the, at the moment. Yeah, Nick said it had some effect on Google for some reason. Other than that, nothing. Yeah, I don't really see anything else here. Here's our breakout V3 chart. We don't have any. We currently have a double body right here on the bottom end. So if price decides to climb up here as we get closer to market open, possible entry for a buy. Other than that, I don't think we're gonna get anything yet because the market's still moving here and it's still consolidating sideways as we get closer to actual market open. So I'll come back and take a look at that later. Looking over here at the PRB. PRB is pretty much mixed right now. The trend here hasn't really confirmed on the pivot. So once they do confirm, we'll be able to identify, whether it's going to be a buy or a sell for today. So PRB is right there. And for our main chart, as you guys can see, there's not really much here to work with. Price is currently at the Asia low, which is obviously the sessions here. Red flag, that's where a lot of manipulation tends to happen around this middle area. So right here at this very moment, price is kind of just lingering around the sessions. We'll see what happens when the market opens. It'll probably push up or push down. But we got 5 minutes till open, so we got a lot of time here from now until then. So all right, we'll sit tight for a little bit, let people join in. But just a reminder, there's no news for today. Fed bar is supposed to speak at 9 o'clock, which is not really going to be of importance to us. So we'll see what happens from now until then. So you guys can see that 2 levels of liquidity are still sitting right there. Price is right in between. And the volatility is, I guess it's pretty normal right now for pre-market. Volatility is currently at 8 points. It's starting to pick up slowly. It was at 6, 7, now at 8. And then we'll see where it goes from there. Yeah, right now, not really too much to work with. Hey, Maria, morning. Let's see. Rashida said prices in the 10-minute fair value gap may push down on open. Yeah, I can see that. If it pushes down, then the target price point would be liquidity down here. The next, I was going to see if there's another zone down here. No, Well, I mean, there's a New York low and a London low, but it's so low down here. I don't think I'll probably beat the target. I mean, maybe, but we'll see. I think for the most part, it looks like price is just going to be consolidating a lot today, consolidating and ranging. I don't know if we'll get that big volatility push on open like we've been getting for the past couple of days, because it seems like all the news is pretty much done for this week. The only target that I can see down there would be liquidity. And of course, if price pushes up higher, the closest levels of liquidity are going to be up here as well. So we'll see what happens. Market opens up in about 3 minutes. We got a lot of time here. I got on a little bit earlier than usual today. Just ready to get the day started. But the market here is kind of slow. I wanted to see if Powell had any effect on the market, but it doesn't really seem like it. So we'll see what happens in the next few minutes or so. Yeah, Nick said the trend meter looks wild as well. Yeah, it's not really there's not really much of a direction. So we'll see if price pushes up or pushes down. It's just going back and forth. I mean, if you guys look really closely, there's not really too much going on here. If I was to mark structure, you can see that price is kind of just going back and forth between two levels right there. So there's not really too much to work with, at least not yet until the market actually opens. Because yeah, again, if I wanted to mark up structure here, just to show you guys how sideways it is, you can see right here that it's just going back and forth. Price pushes up, fakes out, comes back down, doesn't touch any levels, fakes out, comes back up. Let's see, John's asking, is there a liquidity level at the most recent lower low? Not right now, yeah. So the closest level of liquidity is going to be over here at 40,151, the very lower low of it. It's kind of just going back and forth. I mean, if you wanted to identify this as liquidity, this could be a 1 minute liquidity. It's just up to preference. So this liquidity here got hit pre-market, as you guys can see. It's pushing up. It's not very strong though. It's not like how it's been moving for the past couple of days. Liquidity did get hit right here, so it's currently active if anybody was looking to take that. I mean, personally, I don't really recommend taking pre-market liquidity because you can get faked out, especially when it's so close to market open. Market's going to open down in about 20 seconds. This can easily just whipsaw back and forth. So that's why I typically don't like to trade pre-market, and why I prefer not to, because you don't know what will happen when the market actually opens, which is going to open in about 10 seconds. Market is opening in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So you guys can see that crazy volatility right there. This is why, again, why I typically don't like to trade or have any trades open on open here. So there's no double body, double wicks right now. So there's not going to be much of an opportunity for the breakout V3. However, there may be the entry over here for the PRV. The trend's currently bullish, so if we get the rejection right there on open, there may be opportunity there for the PRV. All right, guys, so market's open. First level of liquidity right here got hit. That's one that I just marked up when market opened. Here's a clean chart. Not really too much going on here. There's not very much of a direction. Price has big wicks on both sides on this specific candle. I'll come back and mark up structure here once the market's kind of moved around for a bit. Looking over here, we don't have a double body or double wick on either side, so the breakout V3 is not setting up just yet. Looking over here at the PRB, this could be a possible opportunity for setup. So we currently have the rejection right there off the pivots. If this next candle over here doesn't have any rejection off the pivots, this will be considered the consolidation space. And then from there, we'll be looking for the retracement back down and continuation back up. So other than that, this could be a possible pivot scalp entry. So if anybody's looking to take the pivot scalp, if this closes with the buy signal, which it might not, this could be a possible pivot scalp entry. The thing that you want to be careful for here is that the candle is huge. So that might be something that you want to take into consideration, because that's going to be considered a red flag. If it's too big, if it's bigger than the stop loss, then it'd be considered a red flag. So it does not look like the buy signal is closing there. There's no pivot scalp, at least not yet. The only entry here that can be setting up would be the PRB. So you can see how this candle is coming back down. If it comes back down and rejects off the pivots, then this could be a possible entry for the PRB for whoever is looking to take it. I'm not taking the trade here, of course. I'm looking for the breakout V3, but I will mark it up for you guys there just in case. So not there yet. Here's our clean chart. I'll mark up structure, like I said earlier, once the structure has been established. So both of the levels of liquidity over here got hit. So if you took either one, the first one or the second one, they both hit full TP already. So both levels of liquidity right there are done with, full TPs on both. Here goes, price comes back down. Does not look like we're getting a PRB here. All right, so no PRB. This here is considered space again, so if price does push back up, there could be possibility for entry here for the PRB, but nothing there yet. So it's doing exactly what I said earlier. Earlier this morning, I said price is probably going to be in a really big range or really strong consolidation, and that's exactly what's happening here. There's no direction at all. We're not really getting that push of volatility in one direction on open like it's happened on Monday and Tuesday. This is more of a ranging back and forth market. There's no news today, so there's not really much of a catalyst pushing price around, as you guys know. So no scalps here. The only entries that have come up so far are the liquidity over here, which already hit full TP on both sides. Yeah, that's about it for right now. Thanks, Ryan. Ryan just posted the update from CNBC. CNBC said stocks a little changed, but Wall Street's still on track for a winning week. All right, so CNBC just reported that market's going sideways, which is pretty much what's happening. Market is going sideways. There's not really too much to work with here. Okay, if the trend here shifts, then the PRB might be shifting to a sell. So if this next candle here closes down below, the PRB is no longer for a buy. It's going to reset. And you have to wait for the trend here to reconfirm. No double body, no double wicks. No breakout V3s yet. All right, so the trend hasn't necessarily confirmed the low yet. Again, it's just going sideways. Not really too much going on here. Okay, price swings back up. The original PRB for a buy is still in play. Trend hasn't shifted, so if it swings up, comes back down and swings back up higher, this could be a possible entry for the PRB. There's no breakout V3 because there's no double body, double wicks, but for the PRB, it's still setting up for a buy here. So we need to push up a little bit, retrace, and continue up higher. It's kind of what we're looking for. All right, so look for the rejection right here. If we get a wick rejection off the pivots, this will be the PRB entry. If not, then obviously it's going to keep going back and forth. No breakout V3s. Here's our clean chart. There's not really too much to work with here either. I guess I can mark up structure here if you guys like that. So we got structure right there. This is the 1 minute resistance level. I really don't like these text boxes that they're like harder to control now than they were before. It just all right, so I've marked up structure right there, but it's not really too much to work with. Okay, so this is actually the PRB entry, guys. So if anybody's looking to take the PRB, it's currently running right now. It's in drawdown. I'm not in the position. I just marked it up for you guys there. So initially here marked open at 6:30. We had the rejection. There was space, space, space. Rejection came back up right here, came down, and then this would technically be the entry for the PRB. I'm not in this position, so I'm not really following it per se. I just marked it up there for whoever wanted to look into that. Other than that, I mean, as you guys can see, the market's just going back and forth. It's in a big range right now. So it looks like we're going to be waiting a bit before we get any of those double body, double wicks. Jackson's advanced phones on job sites now. They've been getting on me for sitting in the porta potty for 30 minutes every morning. And let's get that entry early, Jackson, so we can get this get you out of there. All right, so there's no entries available yet. There's no pivot scalps. The only entries that have really come up were the liquidity over here. The PRB looks like it came up, it didn't play out today, or it's still technically running right now. So it's still pushing back up right now, it looks like. I'm looking at the little dot here. The dot's still on the box. So technically the PRB is still running right now. I'm not in the position, so I don't really have a stake in it. I'm just waiting here for the BV3 whenever this no, whenever this comes through. So still nothing here. As you guys can see, price is just ranging. So you can see it better here on the clean charts. It's more obvious. There's not really much here to work with. Price is kind of just going back and forth. It's ranging between the 1 minute resistance level and the 1 hour support level. It's back and forth right here. Comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up, etc. No liquidity yet. Closest level is below here. If price decides to drop down, that'll be target price point. And if price pushes up higher, next target price point is going to be up here. So these are the two price points for liquidity. For price to push up or push down to. Here's our clean chart again. Not really much going on. ATR is at 15, so it's around like normal ATR. It's not anything crazy. It's just normal ATR right now. Damn, yeah. Frederick Jackson said that he didn't have a stop loss and then it hit his trailing stop. Yeah, you always got to have a stop loss set, guys. Guys, keep that in mind. Just learn from Jackson's mistake and some other people's mistakes as well in the past. Just make sure that you always have a stop loss, right? It's always better to eat a loss than to and sometimes like if you're doing it manually, it just moves too fast and you're not able to do it. But always like make that your main priority whenever taking whenever you take a trade, because it's better to take a loss and then survive to keep trading your account versus to blow your account and then have to start over with an eval, right? It's just tough. It's always tough. It's tough for everybody because then you got to go through that whole process of getting another 9,000, which could have been profit, right? Profit versus doing another eval. Yeah, no, it sucks. So like, yeah, that's my goal now. So like now, my main goal now that I have all funded accounts is to just stay funded. That's even if I have to call my way back up, that's my main goal to stay funded. It's the key thing. See, Nick just posted a link. See, Nick, what'd you post up? Oh, yeah, that's for you guys. I thought it was something else. A news article. All right, so we have nothing here yet, guys. Price is still going back and forth. So back to our clean chart. It's just ranging between the opening, or not the opening, between the one hour support and the 1 minute resistance level. There's not really too much going on here. Price is going back and forth. We do have a, let me see if this is a double body, but we wouldn't be able to take a sell anyways. Yeah, so this is a double body rejection. However, we won't be able to take the sell here because we don't have a sell signal. The sell signal is already active, so the sell signal is not going to come up next. As we continue to wait for this to kind of bounce around. So we'll see if price maybe bounces off the 1 hour support down here. Gives us a double body or double wick, and then it climbs back up to opening price. I actually don't mind if price stays in this range. I just want to get that double body, double wick, and then we can catch the correction back up, right? That's kind of ideal for what we're looking for here. Retail sentiment is currently at 82% short. So this indicates that 82% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently neutral right now. So I don't really mind which direction price goes. I mean, price might just stay in this range for a while. Looks like price is attempting to reach the lower level of liquidity down here. I mean, price might come down, hit liquidity, and then shoot right back up. So it's on its way down, and that's target price point if it does continue dropping. It's going to be like the lower end of the 1 hour support. So it's currently at the 1 hour support. I wouldn't be surprised if price breaks below and then fakes out. Like I wouldn't be surprised if it comes down a little bit, fakes out, and then comes back into the range, right? You guys have seen that before. And typical for a Friday. All right, so price hit liquidity down below right there. Looks like it's still coming down slightly. Let's see if it already hit. No, it didn't hit yet. It's faking out, just like I marked up earlier. So like I said, right here, we have the double body now. It's exactly what we were looking for. So you might get a buy here for the breakout V3. Buy back to open. Or not. We'll have to see how this candle closes, if it closes green. It's got like 5 seconds left on it. Nope. So there's no zone right there. But still looks like the fake out may happen down here. So it's currently below the 1 hour support. There's one of two things that'll happen here. Price is either going to fake out at this area and come back up, or it might break and it's already break and retest right now. So it already broke and retested. It might just come down lower. Right? There's a lot of different scenarios here that can play out. So either fake out, correction back up, or break and retest, continue down. Or it might even just consolidate within this area right here before it makes this decision on where to go. All right, as we continue to follow this and wait for it to make a decision, we'll see what happens here. So we'll just keep watching it from here. We're just looking for that double body, double wick. We don't have a double body or double wick yet. Once we get that, we can start looking for opportunity. But right now, I'm just sitting tight. Our price is dropping lower, which is fine. This is actually what I want. I prefer it to drop a little lower. Liquidity right there just got hit, guys. So if anybody took liquidity right there, pretty much all liquidity has been hitting all week for the past month or so. Liquidity, 2 levels right here, full TPs, 3rd level right here, full TP. And price is still dumping even further from there. There's no news right now. So there's not really much, there's no catalyst that's pushing price. It's really just liquidity getting knocked out. So liquidity right there just got hit. We'll see if the fake out happens right here. I was hoping we get a double body or double wick, but no, we didn't get it. At least not yet. All right, so no double body, double wick. And we're just gonna wait. So there's still no opportunity here. Here is our clean chart. There's not really too much to work with here because the next level of sessions are like way down. They're about 100 points away, so they're pretty far down. We might just get a range down here for a bit. 647, so we still have a lot of time here. Looking for these double bodies, double wicks to come up. All right, so price pretty much pulled back into the 1 hour support level. I was hoping we get a double body or double wick down here, but we didn't. So unfortunately, this is not going to be our setup, at least not yet. So I wouldn't mind for price to kind of just go sideways here for a bit. Provide another double body, double wick, maybe at the same level down here for a double bottom. And then possibly go back up. So I wouldn't mind if price kind of sits here for a bit, comes back down, and then comes up. There's a new high right here, so I'm gonna take this zone off. The zone's no longer valid. And again, it looks like we're gonna wait. So we are playing the waiting game until we can find that double body, double wick. Otherwise, in better news, all liquidity here has gotten hit. So if you guys caught the liquidity here, pretty much all levels of liquidity got hit already. If price does correct back up, the next target will be up here, but it's pretty far off, so it's got some time. See, Daniel said that there was a momentum pullback scalp that got hit. So yeah, looking at over here, we have a sell signal. The trend confirmed right here when the pivot shifted. Price pushed down. This right here was a retracement. Entry would have happened right here and it went straight to full TP. So if anybody caught the MPS momentum pullback scalp, this was the entry right there. You guys can see how low the volatility is right now. It's pretty slow. And you can tell by how spread out the levels are. All right, so there goes another entry right there, the momentum pullback scalp that Daniel over here identified. So there's a momentum pullback scalp. PRV didn't hit today. Liquidity got hit today, all three levels. And that's pretty much it as we continue to wait for the setup here to come up. All right, so it looks like we might be getting the double body rejection right here. We still got 40 seconds left on this candle, so we got a lot of time. So if that there closes, we can possibly be looking for a buy here for the breakout V3. And if this happens to be the case, then target price point would be opening price up there. But again, this candle might not close green. And if it doesn't, then there's not going to be a double body there anymore. So this one's got a couple of seconds on this candle, and it looks like it is closing with the double body right there. All right, so if price pushes up from this point, this could be the setup that we're looking for. Double body rejection right there. We're looking for the buy signal now. It has some push from this point. The candles are just kind of weak. It's kind of similar to what happened yesterday with the weak candles. Yeah, it's starting to lose some volatility here, as you guys can see. If it drops any lower, this is going to invalidate the low. See what happens in the next couple moments or so. We'll see if it holds. If it holds, then it might push up. If it doesn't hold, then it'll just establish a new low, and this is going to be invalidated. So we got a couple seconds here. So it's still there. It's just now a bigger zone. So we have a double wick rejection right here on these two now. It was a double body, now it's a double wick rejection. And we'll see again if this holds. If it holds, then great. If it doesn't hold, then that's fine. We'll just have to wait for the next double body, double wick to show up. All right, so we're waiting for the buy signal here. If the buy signal closes, we'll be looking for a possible opportunity for the breakout V3. Looking over here on the clean chart, if price does push back up, this could be a correction back to opening price in this range. So that's a good thing for us here as well. Kind of what we're looking for. Correction back to the upside. So we have the pending buy signal right here. This candle has to close with the momentum. So we have to wait for it to close. It's going to be a couple of seconds here, and it looks like it is not going to close at the last second. Last second, it came right back down, and there was no close there with a buy signal, unfortunately. Which is fine. We'll wait for more confirmation here on this next candle. So this candle will basically have to push past this lower high in order for it to keep pushing up higher. But you can see the consolidation is just getting tighter and tighter. Again, there's just another area of consolidation right here. Tight consolidation zone. This has been typical for the entire week. This week's been pretty tricky because of this consolidation. There's not really too much volatility. Price is kind of just going back and forth. The ATR is at 16, so the market is moving, but the volatility is just not there with regard to direction. So no buy signal there yet. Again, we continue to wait. So there's a pending buy signal right here on this green candle. And again, we're just gonna have to wait a bit. Yeah, price is squeezing a little bit. Price again is below the 1 hour support level. So we really need to get that big push. I was hoping that the candle would have been strong over here to just push through, because we need a big push up, and then we can get the continuation to continue climbing. But we need price to really break past this 1 hour support level. Otherwise, it's probably just going to stay down here and just consolidate for a bit. So again, no buy signal here. And again, we're just waiting. So no other entries available here at the moment. The thing that I don't want to happen is that I don't want price to establish a new low. Because if it establishes a new low, this here is going to be invalidated. We can't use this anymore. So I'm hoping we get like a strong push. If it does push off this area, a strong push up, and then a continued push. Because if we don't get that push up to the upside, there's not going to be any volatility there. And we're probably never going to get that buy signal. And just like I said, I was hoping there'd be no low, but now there's a new low here. And this low has been invalidated. So there's no breakout V3 coming up yet, at least not at this very moment. And the ATR is back down to 15. So it dropped down to 15 and going below 15 now. So the volatility is super, super low. And again, we just have to wait for another opportunity to present itself. But you guys can see there's not really much going on today. There's no news, so there's nothing that's really pushing price around. This is kind of just regular market movement. We have a pending buy signal here, but there's no double body, double wick, so wouldn't really matter for us. No opportunities there for entry. All right, pending buy signal, but again, like I said, there's no double body or double wick, so there's no entries here for us to really look to take. right, here is the waiting game again. We're probably, well, I actually like that price is squeezing here because eventually it's going to break out. So we just got to wait. It's just going to be patience and discipline here waiting for this to break out of this area. But I mean, realistically, price is going to range here for a bit before it actually breaks out. So let me mark another structure right here. And I'll put this as the 1 minute support level. So, I mean, price is pretty much just ranging around this here. I'll put this down here actually. So you guys can see this is a consolidation right here. I actually don't mind the consolidation because it's just preparing for a breakout. We just have to be prepared for that breakout. Hopefully the breakout moves in our direction. But yeah, it's really just squeezing. So if you guys are not familiar with squeezing, squeezing is when price consolidates into a triangle, basically. You know, some people call it the ascending triangle, a descending triangle. It doesn't really matter. It's a triangle nonetheless. So price is squeezing. Once it's done squeezing, it's going to break out of this squeeze. It's like popping a bubble, right? It's going to pop and it's going to go up or it's going to go down. So I don't really care to call it an ascending or descending triangle, whatever it may be called, because it can really go in either way. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to go up or has to go down. I just consider it squeezing. Because like I said, I don't like to predict what happens. I like to see what happens and react to the market movement. But that's pretty much what's going on here. Yeah, Drew said no momentum signal in over 30 minutes is crazy. Another update here from CNBC says Dow hovers near 40,000 Friday as it heads for the best week of 2024. Yeah, I mean, 40,000 is crazy. It's the highest it's ever been. So pretty solid. Again, price here is still squeezing. So here's a cleaner chart with no markups. I can probably draw some trend lines here. So this is what I mean about the triangle, right? It's squeezing. So eventually it's going to break out of this triangle, continue up, or it's going to break below and continue down. So I don't like to predict like, oh, this is a descending or ascending triangle because I don't care if it's going to go up or down. I just care what's going to happen after. So if I see it come up, I'm like, okay, perfect. If you have a double body down below, then great. It's going to move in direction with our breakout V3. Vice versa, if we get a double body up here and price breaks out and continues down, then we have a sell for a breakout V3, right? So you can see here the candle volatility is starting to pick up. It's starting to push out the triangle a little wider, but it's not really making a difference because you can see over here from the clean chart, it's still within this range. So, or not even a range. I wouldn't even consider this a range. If price was out in the open like this would be a range for me. This is more consolidation. So it's literally just going back and forth. All right, we finally got another double body rejection right here, V1 pattern. This could be setting up for our opportunity here for a buy. Pending buy signal. It's got like 13 seconds left on it, so I'm not going to hold my breath. I'll wait for it to close. We got 3 seconds left on it. No buy signal. And we'll see if we get here on the next one. Again, the volatility is super low, guys. So, and here we go as it comes back down. So this is also a tricky thing too. When you guys see a lot of high lows like right next to each other, this isn't normal. There shouldn't be a lot of high lows right next to each other. You can see over here, there's a bunch of high lows and then price eventually breaks out. But these are like super duper close. It's like every other candle is a high low. And the ATR here is down to 14. This is not the type of market that we want to be trading in, but it is what it is. We got to deal with what we got. So we can't really, and this low might just get I mean, it looks like it might just get knocked out. So if it gets knocked out, then there's no longer going to be a double body right there. But the candle squeeze is getting tighter and tighter, as you guys can see. I mean, nothing's happening. So here's our clean chart. No liquidity. I mean, price is kind of just sitting at liquidity. Let's go to our main chart. There's nothing down here. Yeah, there's nothing down here. It's just sideways. Okay, so we have a new low. Now that we have a new low, there's no longer double body there. Yeah, that's crazy. It's been consolidating for a pretty long time, which is, I mean, it's normal for Friday, but it's unusual for this time period to have it happen like at 7 o'clock. This is like prime time. This is when the market should be moving because everybody's trading right now. This is also crossover between London and New York session. So there should be movement in the market. There is movement, but there's just not really much of a direction. The ETR is where it should be. It's at 14.15, but it's not going anywhere. It's just going back and forth. But yeah, like the crazy thing that Drew mentioned earlier is there's no momentum signal in like the past 30 minutes already. Right? Typically, there should be momentum. This just shows you that there's no direction in the market. All right, so price is pushing past this lower 1 minute support level. What you can look out for here is the fake out. So look out for the fake out here. Look for price to come down a little bit, lure in some sellers, and fake out back into the range. All right. I'm gonna leave this 1 minute support level here so that you guys can see the fake out happening. I mean, this could be the fake out right here, maybe, or price might just hang around below again before it swings back up. I don't really expect it to drop too much because the retail sentiment is so high on the sell side. Unless I start to see people pull their sells, then okay, price might drop down lower, but it's still at 82% short. So I think price will continue to just slowly make its way down, and then it's going to rally back up. They're just churning some more sellers into the market. So let's see. Nick said FOMC Friday. Let me check the calendar. What do you mean by that, Nick? FOMC Friday? Or do you just mean by the week? Because FOMC is every Wednesday. It doesn't happen on Fridays. Yeah, FOMC week. Yeah, FOMC happens. Or I don't even think FOMC was this week, was it? This was interest rate week. FOMC is yeah, I don't think it was this week. Let's see, Wednesday. Oh yeah, actually you're right. It came out with the funds rate. I always get the dates mixed up because before the FOMC was like on a different week, but now they just they bunched them all together. Like during COVID, it was on a different week, and then last year was on a different week, and this week is now different week. This is March week 3, I believe. So it usually happens on March week 3. So it might be back on schedule again. All right, so there goes the fake out that I just mentioned to you guys earlier. It did exactly what we anticipated. Price came below the support level, faked out, pulled back into the range, and now it's consolidating within this area. We again have the pending buy signal right here, hasn't closed yet. There's no double body, double wick, so there's no opportunities here for us to take any entries. But again, price just faked out like we anticipated, and it pulled back into the range here. So no surprise there. And here we go for the second fake out. So what I'm assuming here, and I'm pretty sure you guys could assume the same thing, is, price came down. Some sellers here just got stopped out. Because what typically happens when people enter sells down this point is they put their stop loss right above right here, right? They put their stop loss super close. So they already trapped the first wave of sellers right here. The next wave of sellers right here is for another fake out. So I'm looking for another fake out right here. Price is going to come down a little bit, maybe a little lower, lure in some more sellers. They're going to do the same thing, enter a sell position, put their stop loss right here, and then it'll probably swing right back up. Looks like we might be getting a double body here. Actually, I'd take that back because we have a low right here. We need price to drop down a bit lower. So I need to drop down a little lower past this lower low and then set up for a double body, double wick. And then from there, correction back up. All right. And this week has been kind of frustrating because it's like the market's kind of been all over the place. We expected it though. We expected the market to be kind of tricky because of the interest rates that were released on Wednesday. But I mean, Monday, Tuesday was great. And then the market started getting kind of funky Wednesday, Thursday, of course, and then today, whatever's left of the market. But yeah, we just haven't had much of a smooth movement throughout the week. It's been kind of choppy, a lot of fake outs. And today's like the worst kind of market. I prefer like when the market's ranging back and forth, like a big range, but I don't really like when price consolidates like this sideways, because here's the thing, even if we get into an entry, we're probably going to be holding on to that position for a long time because the ATR is so low and there's no direction. I mean, even if the ATR was high enough, it would still go back and forth, right? Just back and forth, back and forth. So, I mean, for the most part, yeah, for the most part, there's just not, it's not a desirable market to trade in. Like I would prefer price to be going back and forth because then it would hit your TP or your stop loss right away. You know exactly where you're at when you're trading. But with this here, I think if we do get into our position, we'll probably be holding on to it for a while. Here we go for the second fake out. So this might set up for our entry here if we get a double body or a double wick down here. So there we go. If this candle closes green, we'll get a double body. There goes the fake out right there again, like I mentioned, and probably pull right back into the area up here, maybe even higher. But we need to get that double body, double wick. So this candle needs to close green. If it closes green, we'll get that double body, double wick. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to keep waiting. Still got 30 seconds left on it, so it's got some time. Yeah, Maria said, I prefer the BB3 forming far away from this consolidation because I noticed that when it formed in price ranging, BB3 doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. So it needs to be in a directional market where there's volatility, because otherwise you'll be holding on to the position for a long time and then it just might not ever happen. See, Nick said, yeah, a little bit of back and forth week, then spring break next week. So we'll see how that goes as well. Yeah, I agree. All right, so we have the double body rejection right here. We'll see if this continues to push up higher. If it doesn't, it's just going to establish a new low, and this double body is going to be invalidated. So here we are on the clean chart. You can see price is faking out again down here, pulling back into the range. So we'll see if it actually pushes up higher. Not looking like it right here. It's getting close to the low. And the low looks like it's going to be invalidated again. Yep. And low was invalidated once again. No more double body there. Which is fine. I think personally, I think this is fine because I'd rather have the fake out lower than where it's currently at. So when it pulls back into the range, we have enough space to take our breakout V3. Because we want that space. Remember that picture, Nick. All right, so we got nothing else over here. Again, we're just going to wait for this lower low to establish. Once the lower low establishes, we'll see if we get a double body or a double wick. And then from there, we'll see if price pushes up. The thing that I want to keep my eye on is going to be the retail sentiment over here. I want to make sure that this stays pretty low, because the lower that it is, the better of our opportunity to ride this back up in our favor. Because I don't want people to jump ship yet. I want people to keep hopping onto these sells. and then price swing all the way up. I do believe there's going to be a rally at the end of the day. I don't think this is going to close below 40,000. I think the market's going to keep it above to keep faith in the market, especially the type of market conditions that we're currently in. All right, so there's no double body, double wick down here. I actually want price to drop down further because there's just no opportunity here. I don't want it to swing up just yet. Here we are again, just waiting for this here. Nothing there yet. Now we wait. It's only 7:12, so I mean we have a lot of time. There's no rush. All right, so again, right here, if this establishes as a new low, then I'll draw another structure, but I don't think this is going to establish as a new low. I think price is going to keep dropping a little further, pretty much invalidate this lower low, or if it pushes up, it'll just create another range down here. So if you guys look closely, it's just creating ranges. So there's a range right here, right? Range right here. And it's just creating like a staircase of zones. So if this becomes a case and there's just a zone, 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 when price comes back up, it's going to do the same staircase back up, right? Back to open. So what I see here is that it's creating liquidity. It's creating liquidity right here, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with price dropping down further because this is better for us. So I'm going to mark up levels right here. And these are levels of liquidity because this is where the sellers are placing their stop losses. So that's why I'm still looking over here to see at the retail sentiment. It's currently at 82% short. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with the sellers holding on to their sells right here because if when price swings back up, it's going to hit their liquidity right there, right? This is liquidity. So when it comes up and hits this area right here, you can expect a huge push back up to opening price. Because when price pushes up to opening price over here, it's going to trigger this liquidity and it's going to blast right through it. Right? So I'm okay with the drop. I want it to drop further, actually. The farther the drop, the better, because when price finally does reverse, it's going to reverse in our favor. So I personally want it to keep dropping because the liquidity is sitting right there. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Where you want to be careful is if this number starts to drop. If this goes down to like 75%, and that tells you that okay, all the sellers have offloaded their positions. And in that situation, I'm like, okay, well, crap, price is probably not going to go up at that point because it's not their liquidity is not there anymore, right? Liquidity is only there if they have their pending positions. If they close their positions out, there's not going to be liquidity there. So just it's like playing chess. You just got to anticipate the next move. So I'll keep looking at retail sentiment. There's still no double body, double wick. The double body, double wick is it's gonna indicate the reversal. So once I get that there and price climbs up to liquidity up here, I'm like, okay, that's gonna be the reversal, and price is probably gonna keep climbing up higher from where it's currently at. But right now there's just nothing for us to work with because price is still climbing lower. Their retail sentiment hasn't changed at all. All right, we might have our double body right here again. So we got the double body right there. If this candle closes green, it's got to close green. If not, it's just going to establish a new low. And it established a new low. All right, so again, we are just waiting. Unless this pushes up at the last second. If this just pushes up and it's green at the last second, this could still be a double body rejection. right, so we got 10 seconds left on this candle. Nope. So that there did not provide a double body or double wick. If this here pushes up green with no wick on the bottom, then this could be, or I mean, even if there was a wick, this could still be a double body. The volatility is getting lower. So it's dropping down to 13 now. Retail sentiment's the same, that's fine with me. Yeah, it's not changing. So the sellers are holding on to their positions right now. Sellers are holding on as price continues to tumble down a little bit. I mean, the thing that's kind of throwing me off here is that there's still no momentum. There's no retracement. There's no nothing here. No retracement, no reversal, no nothing. So we'll see what happens here with this. And ATR is pretty low. So even if we get a position right here, it's going to be kind of an annoying position because, like I said, the ATR is so low that this is going to go around for a while. So let me see real quick what it would look like. Yeah. So if you look at the range right here with how small these candles are, trade's going to run for a while if we get a position. Not that we're going to get one anytime soon because there's no double body, double wick, but if we do, expect to hold on to it for a couple of minutes. All right, sentiment's the same. This is like the worst. Typically for Fridays, and it's been the same for us for like a lot of the past Fridays. The entries usually come up pretty early, but there's like no entries that have come up because since there's no momentum here, there's not even any entries for the regular scalps. Price is kind of just tumbling, right? So there's no entries for any scalps. Liquidity is pretty much done already because it's already gotten hit, all of them. The BB3 over here is just, this is the last thing that we're kind of waiting for. And I was kind of hoping to get off this live session early for today too, but it looks like it's not going to happen with the snail movement that's going on here. Yeah, exactly. Kenny said this reminds me of summer market. Yeah, me too. If you guys haven't traded a summer market, this is typically how the summer market moves. It's super, super slow. The injury usually happened like right in the beginning of the session. And then it just dies out completely. This is literally how summer market feels like. When there's nothing going on, like there's no news or anything. This summer is going to be a little more interesting though, because we are in a presidential election year. So, Trump's going to be on tour. Biden's going to be on tour. So it's going to be more interesting because there's going to be stuff happening. So people are still going to be trading during the summer, not as much as, or not as, it's not going to be as flat as it usually is. Like 2 years ago was like super active because of COVID. And then the year after COVID again. And then the year after COVID went away. And then I think last year was like probably the first kind of normal summer where the market was a bit slow. And then this summer we have election year, so it's gonna pick back up, it looks like. So again, the pending buy signal just keeps coming up, but there's no direction. These candles here, every candle is like a doji now. As you can see how slow it is. There's really nothing that's gonna push price unless like a big player just hops in and pushes price in a direction, like an institution or something. Let's see. I think price is probably gonna get below Let's see. So I think it'll probably keep dropping a little bit. I think by today it's gonna get below 40,000 to scare people, just to scare people, and then once it gets to this point, then it's gonna make a correction back up. I think it's gonna close above 40,000, but I think it might just kind of drop a little lower. I think that's a target price point a lot of people are looking for. So a lot of people who are holding on to the sells, they're waiting for price to hit the 40 mark because that's the whole number, right? A lot of people like to trade around whole numbers. So this is like the target price point where people are looking for price to go to. I think eventually it'll climb back up. But I mean, as of now, it's just going to be a snail drop until now and then. Yeah, and like Kenny said, the New York sessions is down there as well. So we got the London low and the New York low down here at it's like literally on the dot too. It's at 40,009. So super close down there. God. So there's no high yet. If there's no high, we're not gonna be able to get a new lower low, which I think is kind of unusual because so high lows are meant to be, low, high, low, high. But this here, if this doesn't end up climbing back up, I'm not sure if this is going to establish a new lower low without establishing a high. Because technically they're supposed to be, they don't really overlap. I think I've seen it overlap maybe like once or a couple times, but I've never seen them overlap where there's a lower low and then another lower low. Because typically that's not how price is supposed to move. Price is supposed to go back and forth. It doesn't matter if price is ranging or consolidating, but you can see here that it's not even, I wouldn't even consider this consolidation. It's just not even moving. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm kind of curious to see if it drops lower, if this is going to create a new lower low, or if it's going to just keep dropping with no new low yet. All right, 7:30. Damn, this is probably the slowest Friday we've seen in a while. And it's March still. It's crazy. I was expecting at least some volatility. Some people who are like straggling at the end of the week to catch some moves, but see sentiment. Okay, so the sentiment is starting to drop a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. It's at 81%. Drop by 1%. Okay, now we have the high here. Okay, perfect. So this is what I was looking for. I mentioned, there's no high here, which is very unusual. There should be a high here because you can only go from high to low, high to low. You can't go from low to low or high to high. It's got to be low, high, low, high, low, high, etc. Now that we have the high over here, I'm gonna look for that reversal on the downside. See, so Kenny said the session is from the New York low from Thursday when interest rates were released. So that might be there might be a ton of liquidity down there. Yeah, I agree, Kenny. Yeah, if that was the case and that was when it was released, then we can probably see price kind of push up from that point. Let's see, Shannon over here sent this picture. See me group. Gotcha. I think this is from the old contract though. Or actually it might be, I don't know. I'm not sure. Because I see the entries over here are from YMH4. We're in YMM4, which is down here. I don't know, I could be wrong. But yeah, I mean, either way, you can see here that the orders are sitting right below the 40,000 mark. Thanks, Shannon, for sharing that. So either way, you can see a lot of orders are kind of just sitting down below. Let's see. JJ said, bro, Tradeovate is literally about to blow my account. Well, what's going on, JJ? I didn't hear anybody else having issues with Tradeovate today. The volatility is super low too, so I don't think there should be any issue with any slippage. I don't know. Does anybody else here have issues with Tradeovate, guys? My Tradeovate's working fine. It might be your internet connection, JJ. Yeah, if anybody has any issues with Trade hop into the chat. JJ said he has issues, but I haven't heard from anybody else having issues. Yeah, like what's going on with the JJ? Like, how is there an issue with the server? Like, is it disconnecting? Is it reconnecting? Because I always have my trade open when I'm entering my trades, and I don't really have any issues with mine. JJ said when I put my trades in, it literally puts me at least 80 pips. 80 pips. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know what could be wrong with yours. Unless you're trading on the wrong contract. Are you trading on the March contract? So we're on the June contract now, but I don't even think it would let you trade on the March contract. The only thing I can think of is if you're entering on the March contract. So what symbol are you on? JJ, yeah. So Patricia said, I heard there's been a lot of issues in the past 2 days with Trade. It's all over the internet. Yeah. YMN4. All right, we have a possible double body right here, guys. Hopefully this is the double body we've been waiting for. All right, so we got our double body right here. Looks like the candles are starting to pick up again. They're not all like dojis like earlier. We have a pending buy signal right here. See if this could be our setup that we've been waiting for all day. Still got 40 seconds left on it, so I'm not gonna really jump the gun. I'm gonna wait a little bit. Volatility is super low, which we expected, so this might just be like really slow move up. If it does move up, we got 20 seconds here. We got 10 seconds left on this candle. It's got to push up a little stronger so that we can get that volatility there for the buy signal. We got a couple seconds here. Looks like it's going to close. All right, perfect. So we have the buy signal right there. We now need to have a green candle. If we get a green candle here, this is going to be the entry for the breakout V3. Again, we have a lot of time on this candle, so I'm going to sit tight for a little bit and just wait. Because, I mean, this can easily just push up or down at the very last second. The volatility is super low. ATR is currently at 12 right now. Candle's got 20 seconds left on it. Got 10 seconds left on it. Again, you gotta wait for the candle to actually close. 5 seconds left on it. And there's no entry there. All right, so no entry there. We have another double body right here. I mean, it's just creating a new range at this point, or a new consolidation. All right, so we'll see if we might even get a sell here. Price comes back down lower. Check the sentiment. Sentiment hasn't changed. Yeah. Josh, so this feels like I'm at the DMV waiting for my number to be called, right? The volatility is really low right now. It's currently at 12. All right, so we are going to sit tight, I guess. All right, Angela. Yeah, Angela said, "I'm tired of turning red." I know. Let's see. Trump's social media company will go public as DWAC shareholders approve merger. All right, some breaking news from Trump. Trump's social media company. All right, so this high here is no longer valid. Yeah, Nicholas, I need to put some puts on buy some puts on DWAC. Yeah, no, it really is. But you know, the thing with Trump, if he becomes president again or during the because he's probably going to promote it a lot during his campaign, it's just going to pump it up, you know. Yeah, exactly. Eventually it'll come down, you know, depending on when your puts expire. Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's all of it is can't think of the word. It's like it's a novelty. So DWAC is like a novelty. It's just hyped up, but it's not going to actually generate revenue. Right? Like people aren't going to pay like a monthly fee to be on a social media platform. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, can you say Trump asks JJ's asking, am I on the right pair, bro? I don't think so. Not if you're on YMN4, you're not because we're on YMM. Yeah, YMN isn't even I don't even know what YMN is. I've never even heard of that one. You might be on the wrong asset, JJ. That's probably why you're yes, it's supposed to be YMM 2024 on TradingView or on TradeObate, it's supposed to be YMM4. All right, guys, you might get a sell over here for the breakout V3. Sell signal is pending. You have the double body right there. We got 10 seconds left on this candle here. Does not look like it's going to close with the sell signal. Oh God, this freaking market sucks. Okay, so we're not getting it. It's all good. It's just frustrating to see like these setups come up and they just don't actually close. All right, so we might have another well, we would need a sell signal. So either way, we can't take a buy here until we get another sell signal. So we need the sell signal to actually close, and then from there, we're just gonna wait. So let me go ahead and mark structure up here again, like I did earlier. It's pretty much doing what I showed you guys earlier. It's just staircasing. So it's creating another level down here of consolidation. So you guys can see the consolidation started up here, then it came down here, and then it came down here, and eventually it's going to staircase back up. So preferably, I'd rather take a buy here, but we would need to get a sell signal before we can get another buy. Um, another support level right here, and another resistance right there. It's just staircasing. It's nothing new, nothing special. All right, so we got the sell signal right there. This could still be the entry for, there's a double body right there. So if the candle closes red, this could be the entry for the breakout V3, guys. We got about a couple seconds left. Candle's closing in 10 seconds. Watching it here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This right here is a breakout V3.
Order failed. Order failed.
So this is the entry here. So
Order submitted.
all right, so this thing kind of happened like little. Let me see what's going on here. My data here is like red for some reason. Oh, problem with drawing. That's fine. All right, so just looking at this here, we have a double body rejection, sell signal, red candle following, everything lines up. Let's go over here, see if there's any confluences. That right there was a pivot scalp entry. So if anybody was looking to take that for a pivot scalp, looks like it already went through a pivot scalp and a momentum scalp. What else do we got here? And there's not really much else to look at. The volatility is still very low. ATR is currently at 11 right now. So, I mean, this is probably going to linger for a bit. But we are getting some momentum here. Let me go over here to our clean chart. Let's see where the session is at. Okay, so the session is actually far down here. So price continues to drop down lower. At least the target price point for it to continue dropping will be down here at the sessions. So that's where the target price point is where we're aiming for it to go. Looking over here at liquidity, I think there's a level of liquidity down there too. Yeah, so there's a lot of liquidity actually sitting down here, down below. But again, like I said, the volatility is extremely low right now, so kind of just got to sit tight and wait. It's probably going to linger until like maybe 8 o'clock. We're probably going to be in this position for a while. It's also bouncing off the 1 minute support. All right, this is kind of invalidated already. But yeah, the main focus here is probably going to be the ATR because the ATR is so low. Let's take a look at sentiment. Sentiment kind of dropped down a little bit, which is good for us as well. Check CNBC, any updates? No updates here. Fundamentals are still red. No news, of course. I mean, there's nothing we can really, there's no catalyst here to see where price is going to go. We kind of just got to wait. Yeah, there's nothing to really look at. We just got to wait. So sit tight. Looks like I got in at like a little bit of better entry. So my exit point is at 35. So I got in like at a point better than the markup here. Just a heads up for you guys. There we go. Price dumps a little further. Yeah, I think we all kind of got in at a better price, thankfully, which worked out for us. The volatility is starting to pick up a little bit. Let's check the sentiment. Sentiment's picking up too. So people are entering into sells here. It went back up to 81%. I'm just going to watch it to make sure because the volatility spike here might be a little strong. All right, so sentiment there picked up a little bit. It was at 80%, went down to 81. That means that retailers are entering into sells here. Not really a good thing for us, but I mean, slightly because it is causing volatility on the sell side. But we typically don't want people to pretty much piggyback and bandwagon off of our trade, right? We prefer it to be kind of just us in here. But like I said, the volatility is low, so we're not really expecting too much. So ATR right there is at 12. We just gotta wait because there's nothing for us to, there's no confluences here for us to really work at. The good thing here is that our target is like way above the 40,000 price. And I think that's kind of where they want to push price down to anyways. They want to keep pushing it down to the lower end because a lot of people are trying to buy the dip here, right? I don't think the dip's done dipping. So just gotta wait. 7:42 right now. It's getting closer and closer to 8 o'clock, but the ATR hasn't changed. So if you look down below, the ATR is still at 12. So there's, I mean, it's the same candle movement. There's just a little more direction. And there's not really much here for us to do. Nothing to look at here for liquidity. Obviously, it's still at the same place. Clean chart over here. Price is still down below. That's support level. So ideally, I'd like to see maybe price come back down below and retest the support. Or I mean, just dump right below it and then continue falling from there. So there we go. And we continue to just wait. Stay closer. Still volatility. Bring those a bit closer. Full TP.
For the sale.
All out. Full TP. Let's go. Let's fucking go. We're back in the game, bitches. We're back in the game, guys. So this was actually a pretty good week. You know, we had 2 losses yesterday, but we're back in the game. So yeah. This is part of the game, guys. So like I said yesterday, you know, I know some people were kind of like complaining, even though you want to act like you weren't complaining. I know some people are complaining about having 2 back-to-back losses. We had 2 wins on Monday, Wednesday, two wins on Monday, Tuesday. We had a loss on Wednesday, Thursday, and then we had what do we have? We had a win today. So we have 1 net win for this week. This is what we expect, right? So you guys got to remember, I know a lot of you guys are like super excited because we had like a crazy win streak for the past like 12 trades. But you guys got to understand that this strategy is meant to have 1 net win a week. So you're supposed to have wins and losses throughout the week. And best case scenario, we have 1 net win at the end of the week. So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, this is part of the strategy. The strategy is meant to be a 50%, slightly above 50% strategy. And today was considered a good week. I mean, some people might not think so, but because you're so used to winning every single day that this is just how the market is supposed to be. So when you guys are taking the breakout V3 with me, you have to understand that you have to set your risks to be where you can allocate, you know, enough risk where you're not really worried about the trade. Like for me, I wasn't worried about the trade. I was like, if this hits, even if it doesn't hit, I still have 1 more chance. And the odds of it hitting the next time are very likely because we never really lose more than twice back to back. So here we go. Yeah, exactly. Eddie said 2 back-to-back losses is nothing. Yeah, after you have 11 back-to-back wins, you should be heavy in profit for the time. You just have to make sure that you don't mess with your lot size. Or if you do mess with your lot size, only mess with it when when you have enough trailing drawdown to keep going, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. You know, just gotta be smart about it. But all right, so let me go over here real quick and let me update this on our server with our entries for the day. That's a nice little recovery. I'm glad because I know morale was kind of down for the past 2 days after the 2 losses, after having like such a crazy win streak. So looking at my accounts over here, all my accounts are technically, I mean, they should be in profit. The only thing is one of my accounts over here is, or my newer funded accounts are slightly in the negative, like -200. And the only reason for that is because it doesn't count the trades from Monday and Tuesday, or Monday, because I got funded on Tuesday on those accounts. So you guys will see my profits over here. I also added a couple more accounts here. I'm not going to screenshot those. I'll just leave those alone. So I actually opened an account with Top Step, and I opened an account with Take Profit Trader. I'll leave those alone for now until those are funded, and then I'll start sharing those, or maybe I'll start sharing them next week. But I'm starting to branch out into other prop firms because obviously I'm already maxed out with Apex over here. Okay, so here are my profits for the day. Here, I'll just add them up real quick. Yeah, Hawk said losing streak over. Yeah, exactly. Kenny just passed another eval, so big congrats to Kenny over here getting another funded account. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18. So 1250 times 18 plus 1090 plus 1985 plus 735. Okay, so I have 26,000 for the day. So plus 26,310 for the day. For the week so far, I'm currently, I mean, this isn't going to be accurate. I'll start the weekly tallies again next week because my new funded accounts over here, these don't have, they should be like this right here. They should be up at least like about 1,000 because, or they should be around break even because they're not calculating the wins from Monday. So I'll leave the weekly tally alone for now, but for the day up 26,000. But you can see over here overall, I'm up in profit. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about like 10 to 11,000 in profit, and then maybe like 1 or 2,000 loss here for the accounts I didn't calculate for the wins, previously. So I'm basically in profit like maybe 10,000 for the week. So 26,000 for the day, 10,000 for the week. This calculates the break even from the other losses from the other days. But for the most part, we close out the week strong, which is what the key thing was here. Looking over here at our team profits, we have Kaner over here. Kaner locked in a total profit. Let's see, he has 4 losses, or yeah, 4 losses right here. 4 wins here. So well over, we'll say 3,000 in profit for the day. Nice work, Kaner. So Kaner made about 3,000 in profit for the day. We have Maddie over here with a total profit of well over 800 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. We have Nikki here, total profit of 960 on her funded account and 1,000 on her evals. Nice work, Nikki. We have Madhu over here, total profit of 1,000 for the day. Nice work, Madhu. We have Tom here back in profit, total profit of 1,500 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts. So well over 7,000 for the day. Nice work, Tom. And then on his FTMO, he locked in a total profit of 1,530 for the day. Great work, Tom. We have Nick over here, total profit of about 4,000 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Nick. We have Vince here, total profit of well over 3,000 for the day. Nice work, Vince. We have Joshua over here, total profit of well over 2,000 for the day. Nice work, Josh. We have James over here. Nice work, James. Yeah, so James said his second trade since starting. So James just started with us. It looks like you're finally getting it down, James. So I'm glad to see that. I know you had some issues initially, but I'm glad that you kind of figured out your way and you made some profit on that trade. A total profit of 420 per account. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 accounts. We're going to say well over 3,000 for the day. Nice work, James. We have Gian here, total profit of 400 for the day. Nice work, Gian. We have Casey over here with a total profit of 12,000 for the day. Nice work, Casey. We have Patricia here, total profit of 18,000 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. We have Aryan, total profit of 1,000 per account. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 accounts. So well over 6,000 for the day. We have Vimal, total profit of 625 for the day. Nice work, Vimal. We have Alex, total profit of 4,200. Great work, Alex. We have Kevin here, total profit of 1,946 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. We have Patricia's other accounts on FTMO, total profit of 875. And that looks like pretty much all the profits for today so far. So if you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. It's about to be 8 o'clock, guys. So we're going to wrap this up for the day. If there's anything else that you guys want me to cover, I'll be hopping right back on for the mentoring session right after this. So I will send the link out. I'll just send the Zoom link to everybody. So if you guys want to hop into the mentoring session, you guys are more than welcome to hop in. I'm just going to cut it off so that if you guys want to just focus on just mentoring, you'll have a separate video for that there. So yeah, if there's any questions here right now, guys, feel free to post them up. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to get into the mentoring session, and then we'll wrap this week up for the week so far. Let me see, question from John here. Let me scroll up real quick. So I saw your question right here, John. John's question is, Sean, how many position size do you use for the 150K account when starting to pass, and how much profit is the BB3 for you? Yeah, so I have I actually made a list here. Or are you going to be on the mentoring session, John? Or if you want me to just cover it here, I can. Because if you want to rewatch this later, it'll be part of the mentoring session. If not, okay. So I'll just show you the chart real quick. I'll do it in the mentoring session so that if you want to review it, you can just pull up the mentoring session. You don't have to like pull up the live session and then fast forward to the end. But this is the little list. So I have a list right here of like all the contract sizes. Typically, when I start a new 150K account, I start at 10. And then once my drawdown risk is past that threshold of 5,000, then I start to increase. So right now on my first funded account, I'm in profit. My drawdown is super high. So I took a 16 contract. So I made 2,000 on that trade. You can see over here, that's why I made a little more. And nice work over here, Oscar. Oscar locked in well over 2,000 for the day. So you'll see from my profits over here that I made 2,000 on that trade. Because when your threshold is higher, you can lose. Like for me, I calculated where it's 4 trades back to back, right? So if my threshold is past 5,000, it's like, okay, I can increase my contract size because I can make more profit. And then if we go on another win streak, it's just going to be higher and higher and higher and higher. Because I'm capped at 17 contracts. So it's like you might as well go to your cap rather than just keep it at that low level. And then if you lose the trade, then you just lower your contract size. Yeah, so I'll explain that more in detail on the mentoring session. But let me just post these profits here for Oscar. And we'll hop onto there. And I'll go in detail over there. I just don't want you guys to have it like have to go on the live session and try to find where I talked about this. When you can just pull up the mentoring session and it'll cover it there. Yeah, okay, guys. So I'll post up the link for the mentoring session over here in the live Zoom links. I'll just get off real quick. I'll post the link right here. You guys can hop on, ask whatever questions you guys like, and I'll go over stuff in detail there. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys in a few moments as I start up the mentoring session.